NBA action. It's fantastic.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Basketball Association Eastern Conference Finals is sponsored by Allstate. For home, auto, life, and business insurance, you're in good hands with Allstate. Schick, official razor of the NBA. And by Jeep and Eagle, official vehicles of the NBA.
And welcome back to Chicago Stadium. Game 3 where the Bulls lead by 5 after 1. A lot of stories of motivation this week in Chicago. I'm Tim Brandt courtside. Of course, Michael Jordan's silence has been won. But how about the way Phil Jackson edited the game films? You see Dumars coming down the lane, stopping for a jumper. It was edited to the Wizard of Oz and the Tin Man. You got to have a heart. Then you'd see Isaiah with a quick layup. The Scarecrow asking for a brain. And how about Lambert with a three-pointer coming back with a cowardly line asking for courage. It lightened the mood of the Bulls, but Phil Jackson also made his point. They've got to play with courage, a lot of smarts, and they've got to play with a lot of heart.
Trap as we start the second quarter, Hubie.
Well, it's a fake. They fake the zone press, and then out just matching up man-to-man, trying to run some time.
Ball knocked away by Hodges, still Detroit ball. Well, maybe if they win a couple of games, they can see the whole Wizard of Oz tape. Not worry about looking at game film. Bulls outshot the Pistons 48 to 41%.
5 seconds on the clock.
B.J. Armstrong lands on Thomas to commit the foul. The Bulls now have B.J. Armstrong and Craig Hodges at guard. Purdue, Pippen, and King up front. Michael Jordan resting as we start the second quarter. Thomas, as you see, and not playing up to his previous playoff level in this one thus far. Hits the first free throw. The Pistons will have Vinnie Johnson and Isaiah in the backcourt, and Sally, Lambert, and Aguirre up front.
See, what I like about Isaiah's game today is he's continually attacking the basket, and he's breaking the defense down and making something happen.
He's got 10 points to lead everybody. Pippen with 9 tops Chicago. Stacey King working against Sally. There's that inside move. Didn't go for him. That was a nice baseline move by King.
Well, it's interesting because Detroit is not double-teaming anyone other than Michael Jordan to date.
Vinnie Johnson has it blocked again by Purdue, and Sally is hit hard in the head and goes down. Will Purdue's first foul.
See, if I'm Phil Jackson, I'm extremely happy with the aggressiveness here of Purdue getting his second block. Now, he challenged hard that time. That was a hard foul, no doubt about it. And Sally also got hit by the player behind in the top of the head. You got to love what John Sally is doing in the playoffs, Nick. Now, we're talking about 60 foul shots, and this is only his 11th game.
Chuck Daly told us yesterday he knows what the playoffs mean because he's a show business guy, he's a comedy guy, and he knows that he plays well on this level. It's going to pay off for him. Bulls lead cut to 1.
Now, this is a major test for the Bulls with this group out on the floor. They must free up people for high percentage shots.
Armstrong in particular, shaky as a rookie would be on this level.
They're into a passing game. Now you notice Detroit not running at them.
King. Lambert the rebound, and now the Pistons can take the lead, and Aguirre is going to give it to them. So 6 straight points to start off the second period by the Pistons.
What a great pass by Isaiah. He looked right, froze the defense, and went to his left side. Beautiful.
Bulls had a lead as big as 6 in that first quarter. Purdue, second year out of Vanderbilt. Pippen fall away. Lambert the rebound.
See, this group is not getting inside, Dick. They're not beating anyone off the dribble or getting a clear shot at the basket.
Just trying to hold things until Michael Jordan gets back. Bill Lambert misses. Sally knocks it out of bounds, and so basically the Bulls have to be happy with Jordan getting a good rest on the bench and only down by 1. Chicago's missed their last 7, though. Armstrong gets his own long rebound. Thomas and a 2-on-1 with Vinnie Johnson. And a foul by Purdue from behind.
See, whenever you play at this level of basketball, when that shot goes up by a guard, the other guard and small forward must get back on defense, or you're going to see Detroit out in transition and scoring at will.
And that's not their style. Here are the thoughts of Craig Hodges and John Paxson of Michael Jordan's silent treatment this past week.
Michael has to be a vocal leader, and we have to accept his vocal leadership in order for us to be a good ball club, and it has to come from somewhere. I think last year we had Dave Corzine who spoke up a little bit as far as trying to get us together, and this year without him being there, Michael has to step forward and do that type of thing.
Michael and it's us. It's guys have to step up. You know, as a team, that includes Michael, it includes Scotty, it includes all of us. We have to move the ball more. You know, teams that beat Detroit will get good ball movement and will be prepared to shoot the shots.
Last year, we knew that we had a chance. I think this year is one of those things where we still have a question in our minds as to whether or not we can actually handle this team.
Of course, he was silent to the media, but he wasn't silent at all to his own teammates.
It's like we said at the top of the show, from the coaching staff to the players. No one has taken any offense with this. They all know that Michael expects his team to win. But last year, they forget. We have a tendency that in the first 2 games in Detroit, Chicago stole the game.
Interesting comment made by Hodges about the team's feeling about beating the Pistons and whether they could do it.
Well, 4-1 this year in the series in favor of Detroit. Detroit has come into this building and won 9 of the last 11. You know, that's making a pretty good statement.
I would say. Especially in a place that's tough to win.
See, so far this open court passing game has not, no one is getting good shots. They're shooting and forcing up over the top of someone with the clock down. Like
1 second. Pippen scores. I didn't think he was going to get it off in time. He caught the ball with less than 2 seconds to go on the clock.
Well, they're 2 for 8, you know, since this group has been on the floor.
Pistons still on an 8-2 run nonetheless, with nearly 3 minutes gone by in the second quarter. McGuire. And Mark McGuire now with 6 points. Once again, the Piston bench, they have been the dominant force. Pippen on the alley-oop, can't control. Detroit leading by 2. Inside to Sally. Now a 4-point lead, and McGuire strong off the bench.
Well, you just look out on the floor here. Detroit has Vinnie Johnson, McGuire, Isaiah. They've got guys out here who can score. The only proven scorer on this floor right now is Scottie Pippen, and Hodges needs the open jump shot if he's going to score.
B.J. Armstrong goes up without the ball, and a 2-on-1 chance for Detroit. Vinnie Johnson lays it in, and a 20-second timeout called by Phil Jackson. And I tell you, Michael Jordan has had a long rest, and before you know it, the Pistons are up by 6.
Well, this has been the major point with Phil Jackson. He says, you know, their second unit demolishes our second group, and then you got to understand, do you need the rest? You bring the guys right back in. Look, here's a strip right there going down the lane, which eventually opens up into the open court in an uncontested layup.
Coming into this game, the Pistons bench had outscored the Bulls bench by 30 points. That's a whopping margin. And right now, Detroit's subs are on a 14-2 run. Jordan is back in the game. He scored 5 points, including a 3-point basket in the first quarter.
Now, you know, we always make that statement at playoff time. You know, some things that you get away with offensively during the year, they definitely do not work in the playoffs. And you've got to get and help people get good shot opportunities.
King gets pushed by Aguirre. That'll be the first team foul against the Pistons here in the second quarter.
23, Mark McGuire is first.
Horace Grant, who was the key to the Bulls' effort in the first quarter, will come in and replace Scottie Pippen. And Ed Neely will make his entrance as well. And Purdue will leave.
Now, right now, Chicago will be playing Neely at the center position and King at big forward.
Jordan coming off the screen. 7 points for Jordan.
It happened rather quickly, didn't it?
Each team has had a 6-point lead in this game. McGuire working against Neely. He's a big body in there.
And he's been around. You know, he's been with a number of ball clubs, and he's that guy that does the intangibles. Good pick man. He puts his body on guys. Nice defensive player. He's going to help you on the boards.
Vinny Johnson. Great strength does Johnson have when he gets in the paint.
What a shot that was. I mean, he changed that shot twice in order to get that up over the top of Neely.
Pistons again with their biggest margin, tying it at 6. Dumars guarding Jordan. That's off the mark. Looking for the biggest lead of this game for either side right now are the Pistons. Labier wide open for a 3.
Chicago can't get away, Dick, from the fact that they attacked the basket. There you go.
Jordan. Like going through a minefield that time.
That's how they got the lead, by challenging Detroit's strength, taking it down in there, getting fouls on people. Make it happen. You can't beat Detroit from the perimeter.
4.5 court game. McGuire, fall away. Neely boxed out Sally beautifully. Here's Jordan again, and that'll be a foul against the Bulls. Stacey King that time.
That's a rookie foul. You know, he tried to clear Joe Dumars away by using a forearm. Now he did it, except he did it right in front of the referee.
Bad place to do it.
Schick, the official razor of the NBA, presents Close Shaves. New York and Boston battle in a rugged 1973 Eastern Final. Although Boston has the NBA's best overall record, the Knicks take a 3-1 advantage when Celtics star John Havlicek is injured. Determined, the Celtics come back to tie the series. But Walt Frazier leads New York to a close shave Game 7 victory celebration in Boston Garden.
You want the bench comparison has been no contest in favor of the Pistons in this series off the first 2 games, and again today. Here's why.
But now check Vinny Johnson. Watch how he's lulling his defensive man with the dribble. Now, as the penetrate, here comes a double team. Now watch the change of the shot. Look at that, to get that up over the top of Neely. Now, keeping the bottom right hand. Now look at Aguirre working here, trying to deny the post-up of Scottie Pippen. And now he fronts him, holds onto him, doing a nice job. Now, you know that Chuck Daly made a good statement yesterday about Aguirre. He's really accepted his role. He's coming off the bench, giving us major production, but he's working hard defensively, and he could be one of the premier 6 guys in this league.
Well, he talked about Pierce and some of the people who come off the bench in the league for points, and he gets that, and he's getting rebounds as well. But how'd you like that number? 16-0. The Detroit bench outscoring the Bulls. Joe Dumars back in for the Pistons. They surround Vinny Johnson. Hodges is bodying him. No matter, tipped in by Sally on the miss.
Well, that time, no one put a body on Sally. They allowed him to cruise right in.
18-0 for Detroit's bench. That's our little side scoreboard.
By putting Michael at the top, right there, you see if they double team, they open up the wings.
Neely misses, offensive rebound. Grant fighting. Hodges for 3. He's been way off, and they count on the 3-point baskets from Craig. Aguirre fall away. Horace Grant really fighting inside. Sally knocks the ball away from Hodges from behind.
Great defense.
Aguirre throws it away to Neely, and now a chance 3-on-1 against the Pistons. And they don't get anything.
And look out, you have a 3-on-1 at the other end.
Vinny Johnson, Sally, and they're not going to let him get the easy layup. No way. But the Bulls missed a great opportunity with Jordan on the 3-on-1.
Now watching this transition move, watch John Sally run the ball down from behind. Now remember, we're talking about a 7'1" guy catching a guard, forcing the turnover. All young players, when a guy is out ahead of you, you know, a lot of times guys are trying to get alongside of them or cut them off. Now, just come from behind and go for the tap.
Dennis Rodman against Mark Jackson in the big 4th game in New York with the Pistons. Foul was on Stacey King, his second.
See, this was a good foul. They're going to make Sally go to the line and make the foul shots. You know, we say John has been having an outstanding playoff by the number, but he only shoots right around that 70 mark. When you have a fast break 3-on-1, you cannot get cute, especially when baskets are so hard to come by. Make the easy play.
Bulls have Pippen, Neely, and Grant up front. And they've got Hodges and Michael Jordan at guard. 5 minutes, 10 seconds to go in the first half. Grant with the offensive rebound and another putback.
Well, that's what we mean when we say when your player gets double or triple team and he shoots, the free people should be in front of the basket looking for the offensive rebound.
Pick and roll to Sally from Dumars. No basket. Offensive foul against Sally.
Now that was excellent. Oh, Chuck Haley. That's like a migraine. You get the beautiful pick and roll, but give the Bulls credit. They rotated and took the charge.
Pistons by 6.
So you can't double team him when he's going one-on-one from there.
Open is Horace Grant from the corner. The rebound is by Lane Beer.
Now the problem with that is you must hit the open wing jump shots.
Detroit shooting nearly 60%, and Chicago's grown cold in the second quarter. Dumars working against Pippen. Lane Beer. Loose ball foul. It'll be against the Pistons. And it'll be against Lane Beer.
Bill was working hard that time. You know, a little exasperation and he missed the shot. The shot rolled out on him, but he's so tough-minded. He's right back on that offensive glass.
Edwards will come in for Sally, and Bill Cartwright is also checked in for the Chicago Bulls, replacing Neely.
See, Jordan wants to post up right now on Dumars. You can't go away from him.
4 minutes to go in the first half. Jordan over Aguirre. Fighting is Pippen with an offensive rebound, and a foul is called against Vinnie Johnson of Detroit. For the Pistons, it'll be their third team foul. The Bulls have committed 4.
See, Chuck Daly very, upset on that call. But on the release of the shot, Michael Jordan was fouled. They caught him down below the release of the hand. They caught him down by the elbow. Now, on that, what I like, if I'm Chicago, I like the activity of Pippen and Grant. They are really crashing the glass.
Scottie Pippen now has 12. Grant has 10. John Paxson will come in for Hodges because the Pistons right now have all of their 3 guards in there. Thomas, Dumars, and Vinnie Johnson. And they have Edwards and Aguirre up front. So other than Edwards, it's a pretty small but quick team out there. 4-point Piston lead, and here comes the full court.
Now, with the press, remember what you're trying to do is force turnovers, but more important, get them to take a quick shot, stay out of their offense, run some time, because Detroit is such a methodical half-court offensive team.
They got time to set up their play. Edwards, short. Michael Jordan the rebound, and a chance to cut the lead to 2. And he does. Whoa. 11 now for Michael.
He was determined.
A different Michael Jordan is shown up here, and a different Bulls team, but they're locked in a tight battle anyway. Pistons coolly playing their game. Aguirre gives Detroit a 4-point lead again, and Mark now off the bench with 10. Still no points from the Chicago bench yet in this game. Under 3 minutes to play in the second period. Jordan posting up against Dumars, and a foul, and that'll be the 4th team foul against Detroit. Each team with 4, and Dumars is first.
See, I like that strategy. Force Dumars to really play him. Now here comes Michael splitting right there. Now look how easily he shifts the ball into a beautiful spin.
Jordan has taken the most, but what do you make of that?
Well, see, Grant when people say the other three guys must step up, Grant, Cartwright, and Paxson, you can see Cartwright and Paxson, very few shot opportunities. And the distribution at the top is nice, but remember, Pippen and Grant have been getting an awful lot on offensive rebounds. They are not in the initial flow of the offense.
Bulls have a 7-4 edge in offensive rebounds where they were killed in the first two games, so there's a change there. Marked, I might add. Jordan makes one free throw, has 12. Pippen still leads the team with 13. There's the full court pressure.
Up to now, the full court pressure has not caused any turnovers, but they did have Detroit shooting quicker.
Aguirre in the corner.
Oh, he's hot.
He is having a game. Mark Aguirre with 12 points, and the bench for Detroit has outscored Chicago's 24-0.
Well, the reason why this is so big is they can leave Rodman on the bench with his 2 fouls, get him into the second half with 4 to give.
10 on the shot clock. Lead is 5 for the Pistons. That was the lead for Chicago. They're up by 5 after 1. Paxson long range hits. But the Bulls have to get the ball inside again. That's what worked for them early when they forged their 6-point lead. Thomas arcs a 3 and the second 3-point basket today for Isaiah.
He's looking today. He's right there on the drives. And most important, he's really looking for the 3 today.
Jordan working against Dumars. Draws the foul. Was it Aguirre or Dumars? It's Joe with his second personal. And Detroit now in the penalty.
Dumars, his second penalty.
Well, Chuck's got to make a decision here. He does not like to have a guy get 3 going into the second half. But he also knows that he does not want Michael Jordan to get off in this next 1 minute and 44 seconds with, a heavy amount of points.
Detroit still going to the line a lot more than Chicago, indicative of their ability to penetrate, and Chicago not going inside. And also a big story of the first 2 games of the series. Detroit. Pick and spot up to James Edwards. 47-41 now. And you look at the board, that's a Detroit score right now.
Their asset is they run the pick and roll and they make a great pass.
Dumars slaps it away into the hands of Edwards. Dumars hits the jumper. They're on a roll. And they're doing it the tail end of the second quarter.
Well, the forced turnovers have really hurt Chicago. Because they're ending up in major points at the opposite end of the floor.
1 minute remaining in the first half. Paxson, Cartwright, and Grant fighting for the rebound. Grant throws it into the hands of Aguirre. 3-on-2 break for Detroit. Thomas with a short jumper. And now a 10-point lead for the Pistons.
That is an exasperated man. You cannot overlook excellent passing. Players make it look easy. And then when you see another team falter and it'd say, how could a player do that?
Illegal defense called against the Pistons. They're first.
Warning. Reset 24 seconds.
Now watch right here. A good hustle by Grant getting there, but they get him around. See, he lost sight. Grant lost sight of the offensive player, Paxson.
Bulls have wanted a higher tempo, higher scoring game than what they have now. That was Jordan who tipped it in, but 43 points is not a good output for a half for Chicago. They're playing Detroit's game.
You take away all the fast break baskets, Dick, the turnovers, which gave them the easy 2-on-1, 3-on-1s, and Chicago has been playing a pretty good game outside of that. 7
on the shot clock, a little over 10 in the game clock, and Edwards on the wrist. Foul will send him to the line with 7 seconds to play. It'll be Grant, and that'll be 3 on Horace Grant. And Gerald Henderson is going to come in for Dumars as Chuck Daly doesn't want to see Joe pick up his 3rd foul, so the veteran Henderson comes in. Or will.
Well, you look at the depth of this Detroit team. You have Henderson, Greenwood, Scott Hastings, 3 guys that they pick up who have been in so many playoff games. In case you get in foul trouble or you get an injury, you have quality guys stepping in.
For Chicago, Craig Hodges. replacing Bill Cartwright.
Hodges replaces Cartwright, and a 20-second timeout called by Chuck Daly. Bulls have not even scored 20 points in the second quarter after taking a 5-point lead after one. Right now, let's check in with Tim Brandt. Tim?
All right, Dick, of course, one of the stories has been the depth, the Detroit bench. You know, you only play 8 guys, although they probably could go 12 deep. Scott Hastings started something. They're called the Bench Bandits. They wear rubber bands on their left wrist, and if one of those last 4 guys isn't paying attention, they snap it. It's the Bench Bandits. Dick?
I wouldn't want to get snapped, Hubie.
18,676.
Edwards got off quickly, and now if he can make the free throw, we'll have 9 points. We'll settle for 8. Pippen the rebound. Bulls trying to get it down, and the last shot throws it away. Thomas misses the shot, but Detroit comes on big, making their last 6 shots. Mark Aguirre sparks a 24-0 bench output by the Pistons, and his defense was also a factor. That's the end of the first half. It's the Pistons 51-43. Pat O'Brien and Bill Raftery will be along with the